Hi, and welcome again to John Standefer's Guitar Tips and Tricks, the fall version. Gee, it's hard to believe that summer's ending here pretty soon, and we're going to be jumping into the fall. Anyway, this time I wanted to do a little exhortation to people who are guitar folks. Most of you on my email list and on my YouTube subscriber list are guitar players who get a kick out of seeing my little videos and buying CDs and this and that. And I wanted to tell you that if you play guitar, you need to spend a pretty fair amount of time learning. And I mean learning all you can, any way you can, any time you can. And part of this might involve taking lessons. Now, I know how it is with guitar players. we, it's like a badge of honor to say, yep, I never had a lesson in my life. You know, we think that we're pretty good just like we are and we don't need anybody. But the truth is, you're just not taking advantage of the opportunities around you when you think like that because everybody can show you something. And the ideal thing is to find a teacher that is really geared in the same direction as you are. I know as a teacher, if I have, like a rock and roll kid, student that wants to learn a bunch of power chords with a distortion on 10, I'm not very interested in even teaching him, and as a result, he ain't very interested in learning from me. But if I find somebody who is into fingerstyle guitar and into acoustic music and has similar taste to mine, where finding songs that have actually good melodies and developing cool chords and neat fingerstyle techniques and sort of like that is really excites them, then that excites me because that's the very stuff I'd like to be able to share with folks. So there again, if these two entities get together, where student and teacher find enough common ground that a spark flies, then lessons are really great. The problem is, it's kind of hard to find folks like that in your life because in anyone's given locale, there's just a few guitar teachers. Some of them don't really know what they're doing much, and some of them are so specialized in another field that they can't be of help. Or sometimes when you start talking about fingerstyle people, you may be as good as the teacher. So trying to find somebody that's better than you and who is good at explaining things and who will take the time and patience and everything to work with you is really a find. I mean, it's like mining for gold when you hit something like that. So, anyway, I really suggest that you try. And if for some reason you can't find somebody locally and you're kind of on the same wavelength as what you've seen from me, I do teach Skype lessons online, and interestingly, they're really a lot of fun. Uh, and by the way, I learn a lot with this too because all of my various students ask for certain tunes. You know, some of them are Christian guys playing in churches and they want either accompaniment or solo arrangements of various different types of church music, and other ones are Chet Atkins fanatics, and some of them are bossa nova fans or jazz fans and stuff. And since I'm into all of that, I very often find people that I have stuff in common with. But they ask for songs that I haven't done before, and they're making me work for my money. You know what I'm saying? So, so I've had to work out some of the most interesting arrangements with these Skype lessons and local students and stuff in the past year or so. I have a one guy that wanted to learn a Motown tune. And I sat and thought about Motown and thought how cool that is because, there's always a neat bass part of some sort, and there's the little rhythm guitar part going, doing that little chick part, and there's a melody and the background singers, and you're trying to keep all those parts going at once. Well, that's the very kind of challenge that fingerstyle pickers like. So I picked my girl, and we ended up working this thing out, and it's like, Yeah, I'm making a few mistakes, but I don't practice these things very much. I just learn a tune, figure it all out, chart it out, give it to a guy, and I'm on to the next one all the time. So I've actually gotten to where I've got probably 50 of these things in the last year that aren't very well rehearsed. I got to actually work on them myself so I can throw them into my concert repertoire. I had a guy, a friend of mine from Alaska, that's taking Skype lessons, and he wanted to learn, of all things, Besame Mucho. So, we came up with something like this. And then the bridge. I'm getting that all wrong. Got the bass line wrong. But anyway, fun tune. And I got a young guy that's a bluegrass picker from back in the Carolinas that wanted Chattanooga Choo Choo. And so on and so forth. And by the way, that same kid is got interested in stomping at the Savoy, the Benny Goodman tune. And so on. So, Christian guys are. I worked out hymns and things like. just all kinds of fun stuff like that. And like I say, there's probably been 50 of them, maybe even since the first of this year. Just so many that it's hard to keep track of them. I worked out a Gordon Lightfoot tune for somebody. And so on. So you can see that I'm learning a lot and just working out these arrangements and trying to get all the cool little licks and voicings and fingerstyle techniques and so forth worked into them. So it's just a great. It kind of keeps me alive, actually, musically. Otherwise, I think I would just sit around the house and do other things. And I've gotten old enough that I have to have a little bit of something to spur me on to practice and work on guitar. Maybe you're a little bit like that. So having these new tunes to work on has been great for me and of course for them. And in the process, I've written a pile of tabs, and some of them are gradually working their way into the computerized version where I can put them up on my list of tabs that you can buy at johnstandefer.com. The store has actually got, I don't know, probably 3 dozen of them or something now, and just growing a little bit all the time and so forth. But I think the real fun of it is really the lessons. And if you haven't thought about that before and like what I do or something like that, I teach Skype lessons pretty much all day Thursdays. And at any given Thursday, I mean, most of my Skype students only take one lesson a month or maybe two, and they're 50 minutes long. We can cover a lot of ground, and I can scan and send tab and charts and handwrite stuff specifically that you want to learn and so forth. So anyway, then usually what I send takes them anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks to get it down. So any given Thursday, I've got half of the times are still open, and so. If you're interested in that sort of thing, at least so long as I've got room to do it, I'm always into it. I love working with people and sharing guitar stuff, and maybe there's some of the things that I do that would be interesting to you, and you'd like to ask questions and see what's going on. The Skype lesson is darn near as good as sitting in a room with somebody. It's really pretty neat. And by the way, there's even if you go to the online lessons page, at my site, there's several pages there about how to sign up for Skype and how to set up your camera and little step-by-step screenshots of how to do stuff if you're interested in any of that. So anyway, the point of this is to tell you that if you're a guitar player and you're turning down any kind of method to learn, so get with it, and if you're interested in any of the stuff that I do, just give me a yell. You know that my website is johnstandefer.com. If you want to email me, you can do it through the message page there, or you can just email me directly. It's john@johnstandefer.com. How easy is that? I feel like I'm a garden. Okay, well, anyway, have yourself a nice rest of the summer and fall, and we'll talk to you pretty soon here on Licks and Tips. Thanks.